Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning podcast brought to you commercial free by another podcast. You've subscribed to ours, now subscribe to theirs. It's the Slow County Real Estate Podcast with Hal Swayze. When you're done with this, go listen to something that will actually enrich your life. California DRE 011111911.
Here comes Dumbass of the Day, and it's brought to you by Davis Water Conditioning, reminding you that there are forever chemicals in your water, and they have a solution to get rid of them. The FDA says about 5,000 forever chemicals are out there. Probably some stuff that's not a big deal to stuff that could be a big deal. Why take a chance? Log on to daviswaterconditioning.com to find out how you can keep your house forever chemical free.
How pathetic can some people be?
I just got back from Vegas. There's so many bros in Vegas. Like, these guys will brag about anything. I was in Vegas and this guy's like, yo, had sex with the prostitute last night, bro. Okay, bragging that you had sex with a prostitute is like bragging that you got some chips from a vending machine.
Dumbass of the Day. 93.3 KZOZ.
Listen to
so
this.
funny.
Okay. I don't know, like this state, this godforsaken state is too big.
Yeah.
I don't know whenever a town comes up in the headlines.
Largest GDP.
That's why we got the fifth largest GDP, and we got problems like this.
You are entering an area known for prostitution and human trafficking.
That is an actual warning message that is attached to. So, have you seen like retailers around here?
They need one of those voices at the border that says, you're
they
entering
have
a state that harbors illegals.
Yeah, no kidding. You're entering a state that gives free health care to transgendered illegal immigrants. Across the street, this time of year, they set up this trailer at the UPS facility. And on that trailer, it's got a pole that sticks in the sky. It's got a bunch of cameras sitting around because there's a lot of theft, or there could be theft.
Oh, it's like a security thing. Okay.
Yeah. The city of Stanton, wherever it is in California, has that, but it has the cameras up, and it also has that message that placed whenever somebody comes around, the camera's got a sensor.
You are entering an area known for prostitution and human trafficking.
Whenever you walk through, like, if I'm a homeowner in this town, I'm like, dude, what are you guys doing? You're driving our property values down ridiculously. This is what the residents are saying in Stanton, California, okay?
Stay there for a long time, 20 minutes.
When I came to the city in April of this year, there was a substantial amount of foot traffic in those areas.
They walk into my community very often, around like midnight, and they play around on the barbecue.
They lay around on the barbecue.
Oh,
is that what he said? Is that what he said?
I think I heard him say
and
that.
they play around on the barbecue.
Or maybe play around on the barbecue. Ooh, gross. I've never eaten anything off the barbecue in Stanton, California. Poor barbecue joints in Stanton. They're like, well, we got to move somewhere else.
Like midnight, and they play around on the barbecue, like area. A lot of condoms on the ground.
You hear what he said?
A lot of condoms on the ground.
Okay. I just want to make sure
like you
that
said
I'm
on the
hearing-
round, but I got it.
I just want to make sure that I'm hearing the same thing that you're hearing.
Yeah, barbecues and condoms.
It's like morning. These ladies are being dropped off. They are visible, and they are, oftentimes, hanging out here during the day.
Kevin from Napomo writes in. He says, "You know where
He knows where Stanton
is."
I know very well.
Is this familiar to you?
Disney?
Right next to Anaheim. Right next.
Really?
Yeah, probably within 5 miles. Condoms on the ground, whores walking around. Walking around with your whores on the ground. Condoms on the ground.
Fifth largest GDP. We can shut down theme parks for 6 years if we want with a fake pandemic. We got the fifth largest GDP. Go screw yourself.
Condoms on the ground. Condoms on the ground.
Oh, by the way,
Walking
I tell you,
all
I'm
around
running
with
for
your
president
condoms on
in
the
4
ground.
years.
Condoms on the ground. Condoms on the ground. Walking all around with your condoms on the ground.
My
I got to credit the
Lord.
Pants on the Ground guy. Thank you very much for writing that song because it works for
From
a lot
American
of things.
Idol from 15 years ago?
Yeah, Pants on the Ground, Condoms on the Ground. If You go to Stanton, it's condoms on the ground. At the happiest place on earth.
So at least they
down
have
the street.
cameras to record this going on, but because it's California, it probably won't do anything about it. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, this is just insanity, the things that go on in this beautiful
You got all these new
state.
people coming into the state. They got to work somehow. So
Stanton is really in Orange County. You're telling me that Orange County has
yes, I'm
places
looking at a
like
map.
this.
Sorry. Yes, it's right next to Anaheim. It's let's see. Buena Park is to its north. Anaheim is to its right, and to its south is Sunset Beach or Huntington Beach. Would be directly to its south on Highway 39. It is just down the street from Long Beach. It's kind of right there in the circle.
So that guy that was talking about the barbecues, his name is Kwai Tran, and I just want to say this because I'm reading the quotes from Eyewitness News 7. Okay, I'm not in any way trying to be insensitive to accents or anything like that, but they had to take what he said for quotes. So the English is not on par, but I am not making fun of it. I'm just saying what he said. They stay there for a long time, 20 minutes, and I called police, but lucky at that time, I don't know why, police, they came right away, so they caught them.
Good.
So I guess they're doing something about it.
Yeah.
They said
Well, they're just going to take him down, get him a bologna sandwich, and let him go. I mean, it's not a big deal.
When you
lunch.
said bologna, I thought you were going a different way altogether. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? For a split second, I was like, whoa, where are you going with this? Where are you going with this? This is where the fail comes. Ryan Pierce, he's the chief of Stanton Police Services. He says, prostitution? Yeah, it's been going on here for years. It's an issue. The problem has been persistent over the years. It's ebbed and flowed, so to speak. So when the city came to us in April this year and said, hey, why don't you guys put up some cameras that have warning messages on them? We're like, go right ahead. Let's go ahead and do it.
You are entering an area known for prostitution and human trafficking.
If you hear that,
I'm getting my
running?
wallet out. I'm like, how many 20s I got? Okay.
where have we gone as a society? Congratulations, Stanton, California, for an issue that is going on for years and years and years and years. You know what they should do? They should do like the 7-Eleven in Santa Maria does and just play that music really loud. Really loud.
Yeah.
There's nothing like,
Classic.
like Sex Drive is strong, but it's not that strong. Nobody wants to hear that. It's Stanton, California. Jeff and Jeremy.
Dumbass of the day. 93.3 KZOZ. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. Yeah, baby.
If I was to ask you, who is the better tipper? Would you say Generation Z or baby boomers?
Generation
Baby
Z.
boomers?
Generation Z for sure. Not my parents.
And it's true, and I don't know why.
Well, they grew up at a time where you tipped like $1. You would go out to dinner and
True.
you'd leave like $2
True.
on the table. You know,
Yeah,
now
true.
and then it was 10%, then it was 15%, and then a good tip was 20%. But now, shoot, 20% is almost like the bare minimum standard. And
But
if you
we're
want to leave a
always
really
hearing
good
about-
one, you got to leave like 25, 30%.
We're always hearing about how Generation Z doesn't have any money. They'll never buy a house. They,
that's
work
just
2
because I
jobs,
think
or
houses are
they
so
don't work
expensive.
any jobs and they get unemployment. We're hearing all this stuff about Generation Z, yet they are the highest tippers. This was a survey that was done by Bankrate, and they tip more than any other generation across 4 of the 6 services that they measured. Okay. Generation Z said that they would tip a gardener. 40% of them said that they would tip a gardener. 32% that boomers said that they would tip a gardener. Similar margin for trash collectors, because we're talking about holidays now. And
I've never done this. I don't get this at all. The guy that runs the joystick? No, I'm not tipping that guy. All right? He's not picking up
where do
the
you
can.
put the tip? Where do you put the tip?
Yeah. What was he gonna? He's gonna have to get out of the truck to get it on tape to the can. He won't do that. He's in there running the joystick. Well, I got to Venmo the guy.
I wonder if we have any trash guys.
We used to. Robbie the trash guy. I don't know what happened to him. We haven't
He retired. He retired because he was making us good money, and he didn't have to work that hard anymore. 805-543-3693.
Why would you retire when you run a joystick? You might as well just sit at home and like playing video games.
I mean, honest to God, like it used to be seen as a job that was like a low-level job in society. Now it is a job I want. I want nothing more to run a big claw on a big piece of machinery and pick something up and lift it in the air like it's some
Or
kind
a street
of
sweeper.
some kind
I'd
of
love to be a
superhero.
street sweeper. Oh my God, that'd be great. Just drive around,
Yeah, right.
go around cars, just like whatever. Like who's gonna get mad at the street sweeper? It's like, oh, you missed my driveway. I'll just say, oh, you had a car parked there.
60% of Generation Z says that they would tip a housekeeper. What do you think the percentage is? Housekeeper. What do you think the percentage is for boomers?
15, 20.
Oh, no, it's not that bad. I mean, this is housekeeper. I mean,
I don't
you
know.
got
I don't have a
housekeeper.
housekeeper. Who has a housekeeper? Who can afford a housekeeper?
That's what I don't understand about Gen Z. Like, they're like, what are they doing? Like, oh, yeah, I got a housekeeper. Come on. Like, you're Gen Z. You don't have a housekeeper. You don't have a house. Like, all the headlines tell us that you guys can't buy a house.
How much money do you have to make to afford a housekeeper? I'd love to have a housekeeper. That'd be great. Because my wife's always complaining, oh, this house is so big. I'm like, well, you wanted to buy it. Clean it. Well, you know what? It's wintertime now. You don't have to do anything on the outside. Like, I never bitch about mowing the grass. I got like an acre of grass I got to mow. Oh, you got to ride a lawnmower. Oh, well. I mean, it's just,
36%, getting back to the trash, 36% of Gen Z says they tip their trash guy. What percentage of boomers do it?
We just did that. Oh, trash guy? Boomers?
Yeah.
See, I would think a boomers tip more because that was something you did back in the day. So
because you might still be in the impression that they come by, they lift up your heavy trash can.
Well, I don't know. It's just something you've been doing forever because you're old. 50+%.
36% Gen Z, 15 boomers because we've caught on.
We're not boomers. We're Gen Z.
Gen X. We're Gen X.
Oh, wait, we're X. Sorry, X, Y, Z.
Yeah,
we're X.
but we're still looking. We're still. I've caught on to the grift. I'm like you said, to run a joystick. Why am I tipping them?
I don't tip the hairdresser. I mean, I tip the person that cuts my hair. Hairdresser. What do you want to call him? It's not technically a barber.
Every single time.
Every time, I give him $5.
Yeah.
I'm like,
why would you
my
tip him
haircut's
more
only
at the
20,
holidays?
so I'm giving you $5 every time. So that's like 20%, right? Or what's right?
Yeah, and the gals I
20%.
go to, they're hyper efficient.
I'm in and out of there in under 15 minutes. Well,
yeah,
I go to
like,
that.
dude,
I go to Great
If
Clips.
you could book 3 of me an hour, you're making a pretty good salary.
Are you going to Great Clips or are you going somewhere else?
I go to GC, yes.
Oh, come on.
No.
Why do you have to call it
Because
GC?
me and my son could get our hair cut at the same time.
Why do you call it GC? Are you trying to act cool? Is that what your kid calls it? So you're like, I'm going to start calling it GC? We can't
No,
call it
I
what
just-
it is? Great Clips?
I actually call it I call it GC Salon.
Okay. Whatever.
Then that way I can not tell people I'm going to Great Clips. Okay. Yes, I do go to Great Clips. I like Great Clips.
I love that you can get
so
online
efficient.
and you put your name on there and you're like, all right, we'll be ready for you in 15 minutes. I'm like, oh, sweet. Okay, I'll leave the house then. I'll drive
that's
down there.
that is the best. That is the best quality of that service. And you know what? Because I'm saved in their because I have the app.
And you get a different person all the time. You don't feel like you have to tip, get them a Christmas present because
one or two.
Yeah.
I do request one. My son has one favorite one that he likes. So I do request her.
I don't request anybody. Look at my hair.
Or I tried to manipulate it.
New gal, never cut my hair before. Look at this. Perfect.
Yeah. It looks good. It looks just like your other haircuts. I mean, it's
pretty simple.
Totally fine.
One on the sides, finger length on top. Blend that bitch.
64% say that they leave a holiday tip for a teacher. This would be millennials because they're of the baby bearing. Where only 27%
I don't have a teacher in my life, so I can't do
that they leave a tip for the teacher.
Who else? Am I supposed to tip my doctor too? Hey, thanks for checking me for a hernia. There you go. Here's a gift card to Starbucks.
Where do you draw the line at who you tip for the holidays? 805-543-3693. Is it so?
I don't tip.
I mean, I guess you would have to rank these in order, but like childcare people, I would tip. teachers, we end up doing it.
What about like
But
FedEx
we-
and UPS? Like I feel like
No,
my wife
no.
orders
It's
so
a
much
different
stuff,
guy every time.
and I think
It doesn't matter. It's a different.
I think it's the
Unless
same
I don't know
guy.
how it is for you. I don't know how it is for you.
Yeah, I know. Maybe
It's
I
a
don't
different
know if
guy
I-
every time.
It is? Okay.
They deserve it. They deserve it.
I
If
like
it's the same person
when they make
but the
sure that a
problem-
package is secure. I appreciate that. To me, that deserves a tip.
Right. And I mean, if they're coming to your house a lot, then maybe yes. Maybe this is the better question to ask. Do you tip these people? Do you tip FedEx and UPS?
Delivery drivers. You know, like
Delivery
not your Uber Eats guy, but you know,
Why not the Uber
package.
Eats guy? You're so lazy that you can't go pick up the food yourself. You're not going to tip that guy a little extra at the
Well,
holidays, especially if you order a lot. I think anything that you order a lot, you should probably tip them a little bit more at the holidays.
Okay, yes, I guess you're right.
But
I don't
but
do
the
that.
Uber Eats guy could be a different guy every single time. So you're
Oh, it
just going to
always
luck
is. It
out.
always is, yeah.
You're going to just luck out. You know.
God, I finally did it. I got some Panda Express delivered. It wasn't Uber Eats. It was one of the other ones. I forget.
DoorDash or something.
DoorDash. It was DoorDash. And then I got a thing and it said, Sarah's on her way. And instantly I was like, okay, girls are cleaner than guys. Like, I'm already happy that it's a girl. And then she gets here and she's like 20 something years old, has a nice car. She looks together. She's not a slob. She hands me my food. I just wanted to give her an extra $5. I'm like, oh, yes. You're the one I want to. No, I didn't. I tipped her $5 for the delivery, but that was on the app because you're supposed to do it on the app, I guess. Anyway,
Yeah, I think so.
But she comes up, and
I
I was
know.
just so happy that somebody
I'm of able body. I can get out.
that
and get
takes
my
a
own
shower
stuff.
and takes care of themselves to handled my bag of food. So
Do you? I wonder. I
'cause
wonder.
I don't
if people-
trust that system, but it works.
So
out
you
good.
found
I might do that.
that system because they'll let anybody in, right? So you found a good one. You found one of the good ones.
Yes.
I wonder how would it work? And you don't do it often enough, but like say you did order quite a bit. If you were to work it out on the side with her, it'd be like, hey, Sarah, is there any way I can make you my selected driver? And I'm sure they don't have that in the platform, but you could say, is there?
Give me your phone number. I'll text you, and then
Yes.
I'll be like, "Hey, I'm
Yes.
going to order something at Panda.
Hey.
Can you pick it up for me?"
How much would it pay? Because you might save money and she might save money on that because obviously she's not having to pay the app for whatever concession fees that they serve. And then you would also save money because you're not paying the third party. You're cutting the middleman out.
Right.
On that one.
I'll just text
would
you.
That work?
I don't know.
Can
I
I
guess
pay you?
I guess what
To
you
be
do
my
is
delivery
you
driver?
Yeah, you order to pick up. You say you're going to pick it up in the store, and then you just say Sarah's is the person picking it up, and then they just go but they could get in trouble with Uber Eats if they get caught because they're going around, right? I don't know. Anyways, who do you tip around the holidays? Who do you give a little something extra to? 805-543-3693.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. Open at 6 a.m. on 93.3 KZ.
Somebody did a survey, and they found that people need a vacation every 110 days. That's 3 vacations a year if you're doing the math. 110 days vacation, 110 days vacation, 110 days. It doesn't really talk about how long the vacation should be. 18% said that they always use up all their paid time off. The average person will leave 5 extra
percentage?
Wait,
Wait,
on the table.
what was the
18%. I'm in that 18%. I use it all.
Yeah, you do. In fact, we just got an email, and I thought you won the lottery.
Oh,
Dude,
God, come on.
It
Come
was
on.
ridiculous.
It's holidays,
We just got an email.
man.
We just got an email, and they said, "Oh, hey, we wanted to make sure that everybody knew that because I guess there was some miscommunication. We thought that we just had Christmas Day and New Year's Day off, and they're like, just so everybody knows, you get the 24th and the 31st.
Well,
off
let's
as
give
well."
credit where it's due, okay?
And Jeremy's like, "Woohoo! Yeah, baby! Yeah!
Okay, that's
We did it!
that's
We did
embellishing.
it!"
That
And
is embellishing.
No, it's not. It's not.
I was like,
Because-
yes.
because my wife was in here. She's like, "What is he yelling about?" And I was like, "Oh, we got the Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve off." And she's like, "Oh," she got happy too. She was excited.
Well,
Not
here's
as
the thing.
excited as you
Okay,
were.
we got to make so everybody has a company handbook, and we get your holidays that are all in there. But the owner of the company, and he's been doing this for as long as I can remember, he'll just throw in extra days. He usually does it around the 4th of July, and then Thanksgiving. He finally just said Black Friday is an official holiday, but he'd give us that off all the
Yes.
time. And he always does stuff around the holidays. If it doesn't fall like on a Friday or Monday, he'll usually give us if it's midweek, he'll give us extra days, which is really nice. It's really
I wonder
cool.
if See, this is what I think.
Sometimes I wish I had more
think-
contact with that
I
guy.
think HR takes a look at like the vacation people that are like they put in their requests, and they're like if it reaches a certain threshold, like 75 to 80% of the workforce is like, yeah, I want that day off too. I want that day off too. So
They'll make it a company holiday.
Vacation day.
Well, that's
they're
awesome.
like-
Then you don't have to use a holiday, a paid
That's
vacation
true.
day.
That is true.
Well,
That is
if you really thought, where have you been? Why have you been holding out on me, dude? I would have totally. Okay, this is what I'm going to do from now on. All the days it could be a holiday by the company that's not, I'm going to put in vacation for it. I'm going to cancel it last minute just to play that angle up. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the week before, if they
Like
don't
when
give
you
it to
pull
us, I'll just cancel it. Nah,
when you pull up
change plans,
to a-
change the plans.
It's like when you pull up to a stoplight, and you pull up to a stoplight, and you're like, man, this light's freaking red for way too long. There's no cars coming. So then you start doing the thing where you roll your car back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's what you're doing with your vacation time.
Yes,
You put it
I
in,
could do
you
that.
take it out.
I could
you put
do
it
that.
in,
Yes.
take it out. You want me to bring up a fantasy football reference on this? It's like when you're facing your opponent and you pick up all of his handcuffs and then you drop him the day of the game.
Oh, and some people in the league get really mad, and that's the best payoff. So maybe it's a strategy. Maybe Jeff's onto something. You know, my wife works in HR, but she doesn't do this kind of stuff. She does like retirement benefits, but she knows the person that manages vacation stuff. Be like, hey, is there anything to this? Have you heard about this? I'm gonna check into that. And if that's the case, then every like 3-day weekend, every holiday, I'm just gonna start asking for vacation around it and see what happens. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes,
But here's the thing. You just got back from a vacation, which is
No, I
like the
didn't.
subject
That was
of
like
the 12
last
days of
month.
Christmas.
That was last month.
Yeah. Like 110 days is way too long for you.
Well, dude,
Like-
think about it.
You're like, oh, Christmas is coming up. I got to take a vacation in November.
Oh my God, think about it. I took a vacation in the middle of June, and then I didn't take another vacation until late
Went all the
November.
way from June to November. I know people that work here that the company has to go to them and say, hey, listen, dude,
Well, 'cause-
you have too much vacation accumulated.
Because we work
You
in
can't
radio and people
accumulate
get fired
anymore."
when they go on vacation. It happens all the time. There was a guy, well, it doesn't, we don't have to get into all the specifics, but it happens. So, but I'm never,
good to
I'm
know.
like, if you're
I
going to
wanna
fire
know
me,
this.
go ahead and fire me.
No. I want to know this story about the person that got that fired on their vacation.
Well, he used to program the radio station. It wasn't a vacation. He took his own vacation days to go and accept an award. The station won, and then when he got back, they fired him. And ever since
He won
that,
the
everybody's scared. Everybody's scared. It was probably
won
the
the
best
award.
thing that they could have done, huh?
He won the award, so it was one of the radio stations here in the building.
It was our station.
And
It was this station.
you couldn't have just left it at one of the radio stations here in the building.
Oh, I didn't know that we were trying to be secretive. You're the one that.
Well, no,
Trying to get it out of
you're
me.
You're like, I don't want to go there, so I was trying to give you an out on it.
Well, the guy
And
doesn't
you're
even
like,
live around
"No,
here
it was
anymore.
this
I don't think he
station,
lives
damn it."
around here anymore. We don't have to say any
So
names.
the guy, this was before we even worked here.
It's pretty
But I
crappy.
remember it was a huge red flag to us even accepting the job here because I was like, dude, the guy won an award and he was fired when he got back from accepting the award.
KZOZ won Station of the Year. And
And
this guy was
but knowing now what I know about industry awards,
right.
very political. He was friends with a guy that was a high up at the industry company, which is no longer even a company anymore.
Right.
It was,
yeah.
and he was really good friends with him. I think what happened was he's like, hey man, I'm kind of hanging out on an island here. I don't feel too comfortable about my job. Any way I could get, noticed on an award. He's like, oh yeah, sure. We got this award. We'll put you up as a nomination and maybe you'll win. And then just being nominated should be enough to save your job. I mean, there's so many political things that go on
Yeah,
there.
sure.
And I got to give credit to the GM here, who's still the GM here. I think she sniffed all that out.
Oh, she's got it together. Plus, from what I understand from talking to other people that worked here at the same time, he wasn't easy to work with. So they didn't really like him anyway. So it wasn't just they were, they fire people that go on vacation. That's a great management technique, though. You don't want anybody to go on vacation? Say, all right, start firing people when they take a vacation.
So
Tim?
this is why
Yeah, you're out. Sorry.
I want to say 50% of the time that Jeremy takes time and I take time off at the same time, somebody gets fired. And it's because they don't want to deal with us bitching about it if they get fired. So they're like, okay, and we haven't taken a vacation at the same time for like 4 years now. And so I credit it to helping out my fellow employees.
That was the biggest chicken ass move they did. Is they fired somebody who worked with us when we went on vacation. And we were just gone for like an extended weekend. And we come back and we're like, are you kidding me? Anyways. But that's the thing with vacation. Take your vacations, man. You earned them. It's a benefit. It's really part of your salary package if you think about it. Because you know what? It's a benefit. You should use it.
Yeah, but what you're overlooking is like, what if you don't like? I mean, listen, we live in the most beautiful place in the world. We hear the term staycation all the time. We do it every single weekend,
dude.
There's
only so much to do here. Great restaurants. You can go drink wine. You can go to the beach. But then, I mean, there's other things you got to do.
Yeah, I know. God, we could be living in Stanton and have to deal with prostitutes and condoms on the barbecue.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad place, but I'm just saying, you got to get out. Here's the thing.
But let
me say this. If you never go on vacation, you're never really going to appreciate what you have. It's just like if you never take time away from your wife and kids, you'll never really fully appreciate what you have because you're around them all the time. It's good for the relationship.
I'm of the mindset of you on this 100%. But there are people that are like, I love it here. Why would I ever leave? So they can accumulate that vacation time, and then when they lose their job, when
they have
on
a
vacation,
couple weeks of
they can cash it.
Well, that's what everybody would do, like Dusty and everybody else. I mean, everybody we've ever worked with was so afraid they were going to get fired. They were like, at least I got a couple weeks. Oh my God. If that's how you live your life, dude, you need to get a different job somewhere else. This is horrible. Like, are you that stressed out? You're going to get fired? Like, that's crazy. Like, who sleeps at night when you're that worried? I guess you're not when you have 2 weeks vacation saved up.
Well, you see, but Ooh, I'm taking a vacation pretty soon. Are you going to get fired?
I don't know, man.
Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning podcast brought to you commercial free by another podcast. You've subscribed to ours, now subscribe to theirs. It's the Slow County Real Estate Podcast with Hal Swayze. When you're done with this, go listen to something that will actually enrich your life. California DRE 01111 911.